Post-apocalyptic fiction, yeah! I mean, who doesn't like Mad Max, right? Yeah, this book is nothing like that. Welcome to the Book Cafe, where we review fantasy and science fiction books, talk about fantasy and science fiction, and hopefully talk to some authors. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and if not, welcome back. Now, you might disagree with what I said at the beginning of the video. You might not like post-apocalyptic fiction. But whatever your personal opinions are of it, you can't deny that it's gotten really popular lately. Even just regarding Mad Max and things inspired by it, a lot of the books I reviewed so far are in some manner post-apocalyptic. The Watered Man, Shannara, Name of the Wind, it comes up a lot in fiction. You know, there's a lot of tropes that come along with that. The desperate struggle to survive, the inherent brutality of man. But overall, apocalyptic fiction, you sort of know what to expect from it. And then along comes something like Bannerless by Carrie Vaughn. This is the book we're reviewing today, and it's the first time I've ever read a book in the genre of soft apocalypse. So the soft apocalypse genre is predicated on the idea that humans aren't actually all that brutal. We're really nice when it comes down to it. Yes, our society is stressful and complicated, and yes, if you start taking out bits of the infrastructure, the whole thing will collapse like a fly in a cupboard. But when it comes right down to it, even when humans have nothing, we still want to help each other. As for as quiet and calm as this book is, I find it really inspirational just for that reason alone. Bannerless takes place along the coast road of what used to be California. It's a series of communities that were founded by the doctors and farmers that survived the fall of man. And the communities are predicated on the idea of leaving something for the next generation. Not being too greedy right now. Not overfishing, not overplanting, so that there's always resources enough for the future. But they acknowledge that one of the worst drains on resources is a human child. So because of that, birth control is mandatory until your household earns a banner by proving that you're capable of taking care of another human being and feeding another mouth without exceeding your quotas or destroying the environment around you. And when the child is born, you sew their name on the banner, you put it up in your household as a point of pride of this is how many generations this house has been able to take care of. And there are people who try to get around this system and have bannerless children, and that's a big no-no. And so the communities have instituted investigators to look into this. And they're basically the community's version of cops. So the main character is Enid of Household Serenity. She's an investigator, and she's facing what might be the first murder investigation since the apocalypse. And it's super shocking because this is the kind of community where murder just doesn't happen. Everyone cares about each other. The story is interspersed with alternating chapters of her investigating the murder and her childhood and adolescence, talking about what it's like to grow up in this world and how she ended up choosing to become an investigator. The plot in this book is a little bit thin on the ground, but that doesn't make quite as much of a difference as you might expect. Because the characters are really, I'd have to say, lovely. They're sympathetic, they're interesting, they're really easy to fall in love with. Even the ones you don't want to like, you're kind of sad to see bad things happen to them, which is an incredible achievement in itself. And you know, the book really sells the conflict between prosperity and survival, but in a really understated manner. It doesn't hit you over the head with it. Enid, in particular, is a great character and a great window to look at this society and how it works and where the problems come in, because it's her job to try and fix them. So overall, I'd say if you're into action-type books and epic stuff, this is not the book for you. However, if you like something a little cozier, a little calmer, a little more comforting, then you should definitely read this book. It's optimistic, it's human, and I think it's quite an achievement. And to be honest, it's a little out of my wheelhouse, but that doesn't mean I didn't love it. So either way, I would recommend that you pick up a copy, you read it, and see what you think. You might discover something about yourself that you didn't know. If this review intrigued you, then the Amazon link to buy the book is below. Get yourself a copy, get it on ebook, get it at your local library. But either way, it's definitely worth a read. If you like this video, remember to show it. Like it down here, click the dragon to subscribe, or just watch more videos like this one from my channel. Now, I got big news. We might be interviewing our first author in the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Follow my Twitter for updates. And I will see everyone on Sunday. In the meantime, read good fantasy.